morning.
Hello, Kevin Ray calling.
Good morning, Kevin. I'm just checking to see if our live feed works right now.
Hello, it's Mitch Huber from MDOT.
Good morning, this is Josh Frederickson, City of Midland.
Hello.
Good morning. This is Kim Hill from MDOT.
Good morning. This is Maya Balanovska from MATS.
Hi, this is Lane Masood from MDOT.
How are you doing today, Maya?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Nice. Everybody surviving?
Yep. I find it really tough to work from home. Much rather going to the office.
There's some niceness about the consistency of being able to go to the office. But,
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
How does everybody else feel about working at home?
I think it's all right. I mean, it's definitely a change in, change to things. And instead of being able to walk across the room and talk to somebody, I got to call them and email them. So it's a little change for me.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Looks like we got a little bit on the agenda today.
Yeah, it's actually not very much.
Not too bad.
Yeah, we actually will need to table item 6A because people from SUDA were not able to finish up processing all the data and putting summarizing that summarizing all the numbers per jurisdiction.
Okay, we'll talk. Yeah. Hey, did you get all your daughter's stuff put away from her college dorm and everything?
No, her room is still a disaster area, and we are waiting next week because she has exams this week, and she's been really busy over the past 3 weeks with all the different projects and presentations and tests, and so after this week, after she finishes all the exams, that's when I'm going to start the intervention in her room because it's a total disaster.
Nice.
It does look like a college dorm.
Nice. So she's been having to do classes and everything online?
Yeah. Even presentations. She has.
No
she has
kidding.
to, yeah. So it's kind of it's interesting, and she's also kind of teaching aid for one of the classes, so she has to kind of log on for that and try and help other students who are asking for help in those in that class. So it's kind of interesting.
Wow. Nice. Looks like we got about another minute or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I just lost my network connection. Let's see if I can get it back. Go. Good. Let's see if it's stable today or not. All right, I've got 10 o'clock. Should we start?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. All righty. Well, welcome everybody to our Midland Area Transportation Study Technical Committee meeting. Doing this via phone, and also I believe there was a Facebook Live feed. Is that what's going on as well?
Yes.
Yes, and maybe Brian should explain what's happening.
Okay. Yep. And then we'll do then we'll go around and I don't know if you want to call off names, Brian, or if we want to.
If everybody could just identify themselves on the phone, I'll just write it down.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay. So you want to talk about how this meeting's working, and then
sure.
we'll
we're
go
doing
around
it
and
on
see
the
who's
phone,
here.
and we're doing it on a Facebook Live feed. You pretty much had it.
Easy enough.
Right.
All right.
So basically, our audio is being recorded and put on in real time on our Facebook, so anybody, so the public can listen and then provide comments or questions.
Perfect. Good. So I'll start off on the roll. I'm Josh Frederickson, City of Midland.
Ross Inman, Midland County Road Commission.
Dan Jurgens, City of Midland.
Thor Pratt, non-motorist transportation.
Maya Bolanowska, Matt.
Mitch Huber, Statewide Planning.
Jay Reichel, MDOT Bay Region. Kevin Ray, Lincoln Township.
Lane Masood, MDOT, Office of Passenger Transportation.
John Roberts, MDOT, Mount Pleasant TST.
Aaron Dawson, Federal Highway.
Anita Bowner, MDOT.
We have looks like we have a really nice turnout. Thanks everybody for joining into this meeting.
Yeah, thanks. Did we get everybody? Anybody not have the opportunity to? All right.
Gary from County Connection.
Good. I heard a couple beeps. I don't know if a couple people came in or if.
Yep, Dave Englehart.
Dave? Anybody else? All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here today. We'll go through this agenda. Hopefully everybody got a chance to look at that. Second thing off is the changes to the agenda. I think, Maya, you had mentioned that we might need to change the agenda or take something off. You want to share that real quick for us?
Yes, we need to table item 6A, which is the socioeconomic data for the travel demand model. We have completed all the review for the SC data and submitted all the changes to SUDA. And there are a lot of changes, so SUDA has been working on inputting those changes and then providing generating summaries for each jurisdiction, and they have not been able to finish to be able to provide all the data in a summary table for this meeting. So we need to table the item till the next meeting, till May 20th.
All right, sounds good. We'll table that to our next meeting. Any other changes to the agenda that need to be made? All right, next up, item 3, approval of the March 18th, 2020 minutes. Any comments about the minutes? Any discussion? All right, can we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion, Russ Inman.
I'll second Jan Jurgens.
All right. So I'll do an all in favor, then opposed. We'll pause in between just to make sure we get a chance. So everybody in favor of approving the minutes, say, Maya, do we need to do a roll call on this, or do we need to, how do we need to do that?
I think we're fine. I think if we just, yeah. Unless, I'm not sure what the rules are. Brian, do you know what the
No,
What the
unfortunately,
rules?
I don't. I guess that didn't occur to me. Yeah, how do you do a roll call
Brian,
over a phone meeting?
Brian, can you just go down the list? Do you have the list in front of you?
I do. Well, I can go down the list of people that are here. Yeah. So.
Yeah, can you go down the list, and we'll just have to we'll do a roll call vote that way.
Sure. All right.
Just to cover ourselves.
Josh.
Yes.
Mitch Huber.
Present.
Kim Hill.
Aye.
No, I think they're asking for aye.
Aye.
Elaine.
Yeah, I'm not a voting member, but
Right.
sure.
Oh, that's true. You're not. Russ.
Aye.
Jan.
Yes.
Thor.
Yes.
Jay.
Yes.
Anita.
I'm not a voting member, Mitch is, but yes.
Oh, right. You're both here. Gary.
Aye.
Kevin.
Yes.
And then Dave isn't a voting member. And that's pretty much everybody that's here.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, reports of officers. We'll go through that. I think we'll go by agency. We'll start off with MDOT, go down to County Road Commission, County Connection, and DialARide. And then I don't know if I missed somebody in there. But MDOT, do you want to start us off with a report or update on projects?
This is Jay. I got nothing to report, but I'll leave that to Kim.
Good morning. This is Kim Hill from MDOT Mount Pleasant TSC. I don't really have anything to report on at this time.
Okay, is that project on US 10 right here, or BR 10 between Washington and US 10? Is that starting up next week?
Correct. That's
Okay.
a mill and resurface project.
A mill and resurface? Perfect. So that starts next week then?
Yeah, and you might
Sounds
see
good.
a little bit of guardrail work on that portion of 10 near the US 10 BR split. That's being done out of our Bay City TSC, but might be a little bit of in Midland County as well.
Okay, thanks. All right, anything else from MDOT? Russ, you want to talk about County Road?
Yep. Our Coleman Bridge over Chippewa River, large project that's being let on May 1st. It's a $3 million bridge replacement. Our Freeland Road at Sass Road roundabout. We're still in the right-of-way phase. The COVID-19 thing kind of stopped any possibility of in-person negotiations. So we're on hold on that. That's a safety project. So it's scheduled, we'll be building that in 2021 instead of this year. Our Eastern Road project, I can't remember what the letting date, but that's coming up here. And once that project starts, we'll find out what the scope of it is because it's a fixed price variable scope. So we'll know exactly how long of a project it's going to be. But the construction on that is to be completed by the end of October. And I believe that's right about it right now.
Okay, thanks. County Connection, Gary, you want?
Well, unfortunately, due to everything going on, we're down to about 20 to 25% of our normal rides right now. We did some layoffs. We did institute a fare free to keep the money and take us out of everybody's hands for safety. So from March 28th and kind of stop date of May 9th, but that could go on a little bit longer. And just providing central rides on the daily for work, medical, and groceries. And that's it.
All right. Jan, you want to talk about DialARide?
Very similar to that of County Connections. We initiated fare free to keep the transfer of fares between the passengers and the drivers to a minimum. We've put in some plastic barriers, clear plastic barriers, actually made out of a clear shower curtain liner, around our drivers to create more of a distance between them and the passengers. Our drivers are wearing masks and gloves, and any passengers that we have to come in close contact with, like to secure their wheelchair, we provide them with a mask if they don't come on board with the mask. We're doing extra sanitization of the buses, and then I would say 20 to 25% ride reduction as well.
Hey, Josh, can I do a follow-up too from county? We did kind of do the same thing as far as I had installed all auto sanitizers on the buses so that when the passengers get on, they're required to sanitize their hands. And we did put up a plexiglass shield between the driver and the entrance doorway as well. So, and of course, they added sanitization every day with between shifts and at the end of every shift. So I just wanted to follow it up to kind of Jan brought that to my mind there. So. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for sharing that, both of you. A lot of different things have to be done nowadays a little bit differently. Thanks for sharing that with us. Sounds like ridership's down a little bit, but I think both of you are doing just essential rides. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, actually this month right now, my target this month, I'll be down 5,000 rides this month as of right now.
Already?
Wow. That's my overall looking at it. Last month we were down. In March, we're down 2,500 rides. This month, they're going to double that, probably, as far as they're down.
Yeah.
Yep.
We normally, City of Midland DialARide normally does about 400, 450 rides a day, and we're doing between 50 to 70 rides a day.
Yep, that's where we're at.
All right, thanks for sharing that. All right, who did I miss from update? All right, then I'll talk about City of Midland. Nothing funded through MATS this summer. We got some design stuff coming up, but a couple projects. We had a bid letting yesterday. We've got to do some work on Poseyville Bridge over the Tittabawassee. That was identified this past fall as having some issues on one span of the deck, so it's just locally funded. And then we've got our Eastman project that's going to come in close proximity to the county's project up there, just north of Wackerly, Airport Road area. So that will go later on this summer, coordinating with our contractor on that one timing-wise. So, and then just normal projects going out the door. So, all right. I think did I get everybody? All right. We'll move on to the agency reports. Maya, you wanna take that one?
Absolutely. So regarding long-range planning, we've been very busy reviewing the SC data, and we have recently completed review of the employment portion of the data, and we have sent that over to SUDA, who are currently, as I mentioned earlier, are working on generating the summary tables for all the different jurisdictions, and we'll bring that to the meeting next month for your review and approval. We have been processing administrative modifications within the JobNet. We have a tip amendment for you later on in the meeting. There are 4 projects that needs your review and approval, and also 3 GPA thresholds that need to be approved by you. In terms of a conference planning, big changes. We had a meeting of an MTPA members yesterday regarding the conference, and in lieu of a present situation, it was decided that the best thing would be to postpone the conference till next year. So the conference will not going to be held this July. It's going to be held probably beginning of August next year. We are talking with the hotel now to be able to move that conference, and we understand that the end of July, that the normal, kind of the 3rd week of July, our normal conference time at that time is already taken. So it's probably going to take place beginning of August next year. The conference is being postponed. It is not going to take place this July. In terms of asset management, we have same as several of you we have taken PASER kind of renewal course. We will have to talk to you regarding when are we going to be taking, when are we going to be doing PASER ratings, regarding being, we still, as much as possible, need to utilize that funding within this fiscal year. That was a question that was raised at yesterday's MTPA meeting. And the way that funding is tied, it needs to be used within the fiscal year. So I think what we still try to do to the best of our abilities is to do all the PASER ratings this year. We may have to do them, I don't know, end of August, September, maybe even October, and we will figure it out with our proper jurisdictions. But we still need to do that though. And in terms of administration, I've been following, and making sure that all the bills are paid. I have just did the online insurance renewal for Matt. All that stuff is still taking place regarding administration. I have completed draft unified work program for the 2021 year, and that's actually up later on the agenda for your review and approval. And that's pretty much it regarding the update.
Okay. Thanks, Maya, for that. Yeah, a lot of conferences are getting canceled this year, so it's good that we get to keep it here for the following year, but I guess we got to wait for next year for that one, so. Good.
Yeah.
All right. On to unfinished and new business. I think 6A got moved off the agenda, and so we'll go into 6B, the TIP amendment, GPA thresholds. Maya, are you going to walk us through that one, or?
Sure, absolutely.
Brian.
So it's relatively straightforward. There are 4 entries that require your approval. 2 of the entries pertain to the same project. It's Waldo Road and Monroe Road roundabout. One of those entries regards the PE phase of it, and the other entry regards the construction phase of that project. So basically, that project has just recently been added into JobNet, and both PE and construction phase need your approval. The cost for the PE phase is $75,000 overall, and the cost for the construction phase is $750,000 overall, with $600,000 provided through federal funds out of the HRRR funding. And then the third entry is regarding construction phase of the M20 of the Prairie Creek. It's a bridge replacement project. The overall cost for the overall phase cost for the project is just over $2 million, with 1.67 million provided through federal funds, ST funding. And then the last entry is regarding M20 from M30 to east of Curry Parkway road rehabilitation project. It's a milling and two-course HMA overlay. The phase cost for that project is 18.6 million. It's a pretty large project with a length of it of over 5.5 miles. So it's a really large project, and so those are the four entries that require approval.
All right. Any discussion on those items? None. I think this is an action item. Is that right, Maya? We need to.
Yes. I had one question for Kim, because looking at the total phase cost, it's very, very high, and I just wanted to find out kind of why is it so relatively high per mile per each lane?
Hi, Maya, it's Kim. Well, this one is a little bit unique, right, because it's that 5-lane section, so we do have a lot more pavement out there. And this is a mill and two course, so it's a more substantial rehab. Basically, we're milling off more asphalt and putting more back. We'll also complete some joint repairs and drainage upgrades. So it's not as extensive as a reconstruct, but it's more extensive than a typical mill and one course HMA project.
Oh, okay.
Does that help clear that up?
Absolutely. So
okay.
it's kind of a very substantial road rehabilitation.
Correct.
Yeah, awesome. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that explanation.
Good.
All right. Any other discussion? Questions?
I just ran the pending action report for Mass, and all the projects are in there. There haven't been any changes, so great job on that.
Thanks.
Good. All right. I think we'd need a motion to approve the TIP amendment.
Yes, we do.
So moved, Russ Inman.
Seconded, Mitch Huber.
Got a first and second. Hey, Brian, do you have that list? Can you run through that list again for us?
I'll just read off the voting.
And we'll vote.
Members this time.
Okay.
Kevin Ray?
Yes.
Josh Fredrickson?
Yes.
Mitch Huber?
Aye.
Russ Inman?
Aye.
Jan Jurgens?
Aye.
Thor Brecht? Okay, we lost Thor. Jay Reifel?
Yes.
Gary
Sorry,
Rogers?
this is Thor. I was on mute.
No. Okay.
That was a yes.
All right. Gary?
Aye.
All right, that's it.
Perfect. So that carries. Thank
And
you,
then
everybody.
And then the second portion of them is approval of a GPA threshold. There are three as a result of some of the administrative changes and as a result of some of the STIP amendments. There are three GPAs that need to that the thresholds have increased and and they have increased over the 25% limit, so they need your review and approval. So for 2021, the local traffic operations and safety, it's a new GPA that has just been created because of an addition into JobNet of a small H or project. So it's a highway. So it's a safety project. So HSIP. And we talked about the project at the previous meeting about being approved by MDOT. So input of the project into JobNet resulted in creation of a GPA and its threshold of $57,712 that needs to be approved. And then, as a result of doing some administrative changes to the DART plan for the operating and capital projects, the 2021 transit GPA, that threshold is being increased to $851,000 and change from $427,000. And then for 2022, the transit operating GPA, the threshold needs to be increased to $5,472,000 from $300,000. So those are the three GPAs that require changes.
All right. Thanks for walking us through that one. Any discussion, questions for Maya on the changes to the GPA?
This is Jay. Unrelated to the amendment, I know we've had some discussion about eliminating the GPAs. Just to bring it up again, I think that any project that we've had with MDOT that's been a GPA, it just seems simpler to have the amendment rather than doing a GPA threshold amendment. So if we have it freestanding, I'd like to see that in the future.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Oh, I said I'd like to see some discussion about the GPAs rather than having the GPAs for these small projects. Can we put those just on line items?
We have approved, we have a policy that we approved a few months ago that any project that is eligible to be in a GPA is in a GPA, just to kind of keep things simple as we enter. And the way JobNet has it, we either have to have it that way or not have GPAs at all.
Right. Are you seeing a benefit, though, to having the GPAs because it's such a small program compared to others that anytime we're doing any amendment or doing any revision to a project, we're in essence doing an amendment?
Actually, we are seeing, because we do have a lot of smaller projects, so we're actually seeing a lot of, we're doing a lot of administrative modifications that do not require a GPA threshold adjustment. The way it works, those from the time that the feds approve the GPA thresholds, we are doing a lot of those administrative modifications, and then it kind of at a certain point, there's going to be one project that's going to go over the 25% limit, of a change, and that's when we have to come back and increase that GPA. But we have processed many changes, being able to do just administrative modifications as opposed to come back to you and say, okay, this requires amendment, because many of those projects are small, and otherwise they actually would require amendments if we didn't have them in the GPAs.
Okay, just inquiring because all the other small MPOs seem to have gone away from the GPAs to just freestanding projects. If it works for you, that's fine.
It's it does work. There's always going to be cases that, if it was set up in another way, at this moment this one wouldn't. But it's very, I think it works. I think we have done. I think we're having less amendments this way with having GPAs. But we'll keep an eye on it and seeing how it's progressing.
I agree, Maya. I've come across in other MPOs. Yes, they may not have them, but even if it prevents you from having to run an amendment, say one project, the timing is so critical, and especially like for transit projects, the timing of getting them obligated, because the changes happen so late, it just reduces the amount of stress that it puts the MPO under and the transit folks, or even these other projects. The minor changes, it's nice to have it as an admin mod. It's not as though the GPA doesn't show every project. It clearly identifies each one of them that's in there, but it does allow some flexibility, and I've seen it as very helpful. And the ones that haven't, you run into a situation like, well, if we don't get this obligated by this time, we have to lose the funding or move the let date. And if you have to move the let date, you may have a higher bid from a contractor because it's later. All of those little things can help. I think they're beneficial.
Okay, I'll respectfully disagree, but that's just from our standpoint. Thanks.
No, I understand, and it's totally your call, in terms of what you want to have.
This is Russ from the Road Commission. I agree with Maya. We do lose the funding if it's not changed and obligated in time and such, and having to go through a TIP amendment every single time for a piddly little amount of money. These admin modifications have helped us not lose money in funding. So without them, I see us becoming bigger losers of the funding.
All right. So I think.
Go ahead, Maya.
I think we need a motion regarding the GPA, regarding the 3 GPAs, regarding approval of the increased thresholds for those 3 GPAs.
So moved, Russ Inman.
And I'll second that, Josh Frederickson. Then Brian, can you walk us through,
Sure.
Go down the list?
Sure. Kevin Ray,
Yes.
Josh Frederickson,
Aye.
Mitch Huber,
Aye.
Russ Inman,
Aye.
Jan Jurgens,
Aye.
Thor Brecht,
Yes.
Jay Reichel,
Yes.
Gary Rogers.
Aye.
That's it.
All right, thanks, Brian. So we have one more item on the business here, an action item. Looks like it's the fiscal year 2021 Unified Work Program, the draft report. I think there were some changes to that and things. So Maya, do you want to talk about that?
Yes. So I have prepared the draft report for the next fiscal year. It's due to end out by beginning of June. It's very similar to the last year's program. I hope everybody had a chance to kind of look over and review it, look at all the numbers. We are fiscally constrained. We are required to do, and we are. All the numbers are spelled out there. There isn't that many changes to the individual task. We may have moved some money. I know we did move some more funding towards the long-range planning because we're expecting to be doing lots more regarding preparing our long-range plan. So we adjusted that. one thing that I had there, I have a couple of sections there kind of flagged in blue regarding the conference, since up until yesterday we weren't quite sure what's happening with it. So I'm going to unblue them, and because my kind of presumptions that will be moving the conference to the next year kind of came true. I was, when I was working on the UWP about a month ago, I was kind of already thinking that that's probably what we'll need to do, and it's coming true. So basically, what I'm looking for is for your approval for this draft report to be able to move forward to the policy for their review and approval. And if there are any comments or questions or any changes that you feel that are necessary, please let me know so I can make them before May 5th meeting, before the policy meeting.
Okay. Any questions right now for Maya on the draft report? All right. So I think, is this something we need to have a motion to move to the policy?
Yes, it's your approval. Yes, it's basically a motion to approve the draft report and for recommendation to policy to approve it.
So moved, Russ Inman.
Second, Gary, County Connection.
First and second to approve and move to policy. Brian, can you walk us down the list?
Sure. Kevin Ray? Kevin Ray?
Sorry, yes.
Josh Fredrickson?
Aye.
Mitch Huber?
Aye.
Russ Inman?
Aye.
Jan Jurgens?
Aye.
Thor Brecht?
Yes.
Jay Reithel?
Yep.
Gary Rogers?
Aye.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, Brian. That passes. Appreciate you putting that together, Maya. And good work. So, all right, on to the next item, 7, public comments and responses. Now's the time for public to be able to weigh in on any comments that they have related to functions of MATS. I'm not sure if anybody's on the phone or on Facebook Live.
No, there won't be anybody on the phone, and as far as Facebook Live goes, there is no comments.
Okay. No public comment at this time. So we'll move on to item 8, the adjournment. Again, thank you everyone for your participation in today's meeting. Our next meeting is regularly scheduled for May 20th, and we'll hopefully be able to see everybody then.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you everybody for participating.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.